Football hasn't been kind to Ghanaians whose World Cup hopes hang in the balance. But hey, the leagues are here and so we will be here. This is Weekend Action brought to you by Pulse Ghana Sports. My name is Kwame Boache. For this episode of Weekend Action, we are going to take a look at 4 games as usual. Our first game is the big one in the English Premier League. It is Manchester City versus Liverpool. Now, Liverpool are unbeaten against Manchester City since Klopp took over. It's been 4 games. Liverpool have won 3 and drawn 1. So that is going to be interesting considering the fact that they whipped Arsenal by 4 goals to 0 in their last game. City are also doing well in the new season despite them not clicking in the league yet. But this is early days, but I think it's still going to be an interesting game in that. We move on to our next game, where it is the previous 2 champions in the English Premier League. It is Leicester City versus Chelsea. Now that is going to be a fantastic game. Leicester lost in their last game to Manchester United. Chelsea lost their first game but have won ever since in this season. So that is going to be a tricky one, an interesting one. We move on to Spain, where we have Barcelona playing Espanyol. Now, for a side who teams predicted like they are not going to do well because of the whole trouble with the Messi transfer and other stuff, I think 6 points from 2 games is good enough for Barcelona, and then they go in against Espanyol this weekend. In our last game, we take a look at Juventus. Need I say more? Juventus. They've been doing well in the Italian Serie A, so hey, we check them out. For our players to watch in the various games, Manchester City versus Liverpool. Of course, we are going to look at Philippe Coutinho, whose transfer saga has been around throughout the season. And then we will look at Mohamed Salah, who scored for Egypt during the international break. On City's side, we are going to look at Gabriel Jesus. I think Pep Guardiola prefers him, playing him up front. And then also we will look at Sergio Aguero, who can change the game from any time, whether he starts or whether he comes in as a substitute. For our Leicester City versus Chelsea game, we are going to look at Eden Hazard. We think he's going to be back for his first game this season. Barcelona versus Espanyol. Lionel Messi. There is no other player we are going to look at than Lionel Messi. And then our last game, Juventus versus Chievo Verona. Paulo Dybala. He scored 4 goals at this early stage of the season. How can we not watch him? We'll be watching you, Paulo. Now we take a look at our predictions for this weekend's games. Manchester City versus Liverpool, I predict a draw in there. Leicester City versus Chelsea, I predict a Chelsea win. Juventus versus Chievo Verona. Of course, Juventus are going to win that game. And then Barcelona versus Espanyol, I predict Barcelona to win that game. Now, this was Weekend Action brought to you by Pulse Ghana Sports. For more updates on these games and more, log on to pulse.com.ga/sports. And for those of you who fancy betting, hey, put your money where your shout is. Bye for now.